And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. So hit subscribe, watch, comment. I want your comments and share with your friends because, again, I'm going to say it again and again and again in every episode, the insanity, the nonsense, the stupidity, it's not going to stop today. It's certainly not stopping tomorrow. We don't even know when it's going to stop. And proof? The other day on Political Beatdown, my co-host Ben Meiselas and I, we had an in-depth conversation. And the message to people was about to those people who voted for Trump. And we spoke about a friend of mine who has voters' remorse for voting for Trump after his business is now failing and probably going to close. 10 years he's been at it due to Trump's policies. Now, Ben, in this specific case, plays devil's advocate against my story. And it led to a truly interesting conversation about the repercussions of people who choose to not believe what Trump said that he was going to do, that he actually is doing. Plus, on top of that, in the conversation, we expose the misinformation, the disinformation, the malinformation behind Trump's speeches, from misused science terms to these bizarre conspiracy theories that they talk about day in and day out. Play the clip.
I want to ask you this question, Cohen. You had MAGA Republican Senator Dave McCormick was on CNBC, and he was telling the host today on the Squawk Box show, or Squawk on the Street, whatever the hell they call it, that this is exactly what Trump campaigned on. This is what Trump said he was going to do. Here, let me play this clip of Senator McCormick.
Unto itself is one of the great enemies of our economy. And so the question is how much you think the American public is going to be willing to accept some pain or some additional cost, potentially, hopefully, to get to the other side of whatever you think this all looks like later.
Well, I want to start by saying I think everything you're seeing is consistent with what President Trump said on the campaign trail that he was going to do, and everything I'm saying is consistent with what I said. The tariffs are designed to do two things. There's the tariffs on Mexico, China, and Canada, which is to stop this terrible scourge of fentanyl. 100,000 deaths last year. That's a huge cost to our economy, and they're meant to change behavior. The second set of tariffs are meant to ensure reciprocity, a fair deal for the American people in steel and aluminum and other places.
Cohen,
they think
we dumb, huh? They think we dumb.
That's for sure. Except here's the thing:
think we stupid,
big time. Here's the thing: Dave McCormick is actually right. He's actually right. Since if you are a real follower of Political Beatdown, since Ben and I started this this show, one thing you have heard us say over and over and over, I have been yelling this to the point that my throat hurts. Don't listen to what Michael Cohen has to say. Don't listen to what Ben Meiselas has to say. Don't listen to what anyone is saying other than Donald Trump. And I told you that no matter how his minion are constantly trying to whitewash or sane wash the comments, this is what he said. And why would you expect him not to do what he said he intended to do, starting with the pardon of 1,500 to 1,600 January 6th defendants? He said he was going to do it. Now, all of a sudden, oh my God, it's affecting me. I had a buddy of mine who came to me today, called me, and he said to me, I need your help. My business is in the toilet. All right. They just hit him with a 638% increase, a tariff over at the port, 638%. All right. He's going to be out of business. They put him out. He built this business over a decade, doing amazing. And now all of a sudden he will be out of business. And I said, wait. I know for a fucking fact you voted for the guy. Why are you coming to me? Go call him. Go call him. Because at the end of the day, there's nothing that I can do. Right? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to tell you? Bring a lawsuit. Do whatever it is that you can to save your business. He told you what he was going to do. And for whatever the reason is, you didn't believe him? You thought that he was bullshitting you? Well, he's not. And now the people who are going to get hurt the most are going to be the low and the lower middle class of America, many of which are Republican, many of which are MAGA. So when they have no food on the table, when they're unable to pay rent or mortgage or electricity or phone bills or gasoline, now turn around and say, holy shit, I should have listened. And I want to tell you something also. Here's another thing, Ben. Join me on this one, because I want to say, do you remember during that speech, the joint session of Congress, he was talking about and making fun of programs that had to do with, for example, he said,
they're doing transgender mice.
Transgender mice. Okay. Here's the mistake.
But yes.
That's correct. Here's the mistake, and even the Democrats are not jumping onto it. So I want to do it with Ben for all of you. He was not talking about transgender, you jerk off. They were referring to what's called transgenic mice, which is using mice in order to study diseases that affect human beings. That's what they were doing. In fact, you've probably read that they're like trying to grow organs on the backs of mice and so on. That's the study that they're talking about to improve our lives, right? They do it with pigs in terms of creating a heart. They do it in order to create organs. They're just testing science. And you know what? The science is designed to make our lives better. Plain and simple. Has nothing to do with trying to turn a mouse gay. It's so fundamentally stupid.
But here's the thing, Cohen. Let's just say, let me play the devil's advocate, because if I'm taking this side of the argument, I'm actually advocating for the Trump, the devil. But, you know, in this point, but assume it was transgender mice. Assume that's what it was. Who's controlling Congress right now? Who's passing the continuing resolutions that appropriate the money to those things? Because the last time I checked, Cohen, the Democrats don't control the House and haven't since 2022. And the Republicans have been unable to put forward a budget. So instead, what they do is they pass continuing resolutions, which continue the resolution of Nancy Pelosi. So all of these programs that they claim they hate and they rail against, well, y'all control Congress. So what you do in America, if you even believed, if you didn't know the word transgenic and just assume anything that has the word trans means transgender, and that you feel that because you're a MAGA Republican, you got to bully marginalized communities, well, you control Congress. So go and pass your law, pass your budget. Don't continue the resolution, the budget from Pelosi then. It's your budget. All these things that they complain about, USAID has this, USAID has that. You then have to go and say, well, it's your budget. You are in control. And if you want to stop these things and you think that these aren't, by the way, all this USAID stuff, the Republicans loved. Why did they love a lot of this stuff? Because they're farmers who did not have fun when Donald Trump harmed them during Trump administration 1 with his failed trade war then. They would often do things like in Georgia, where there would be peanut farms, and that peanut paste would be used to feed starving children abroad. So it created jobs in red states frequently. So Republicans loved this stuff, and now they hate it, and it's their budget. But yes, the word was transgenic.
It would be almost as stupid as Trump standing up there at this joint session of Congress and going, Democrats love peanuts. That's why they're pedophiles. They're just pedophiles. I mean, and anybody that watched the movie, The Pianist, they have to be pedophiles too. They're part of the community. You know which community I'm talking about. The LRBPSTRU. That's just who they are. And we need to stop this. We need to save our children. That's how absolutely fundamentally stupid this is.
But Cohen, guess what Trump is going to give his supporters? And he's going to make it all right. They can't afford the Trump gold card. That's for the Russian oligarchs, right? That's for the Chinese oligarchs. $5 million. Trump's going to sell 10 million of them, and he's going to make $50 trillion. And that's going to close the 20 trillion budget deficit from the 4.5 trillion in tax cuts.
By the way, does that math even work?
No, none of his math even works.
I mean, I understand, but does that math even work? Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.